Hi, thanks for tuning in to Homeschooling with the Sykes. We're glad to have you here. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and maybe we can drop some knowledge so that you can take along with you on your homeschool journey. Yes, African Americans do homeschool. So I'm just tuning in with you. You can kind of see Samantha a little bit over to the side of me. She's doing her assessment today. So when she does her assessment, I'm not allowed to, not I say allowed because I'm homeschooled, but when she does her assessment for us homeschooling, I don't help her with her assignments. It's just a quick reference, kind of what we would call a test. I like to call it an assessment so that I can gauge where she's at and what she's learning. And what we do afterwards, I grade her assignment, or not grade it, I guess I check her assignment for corrections and mistakes. We talk about those things that she got wrong or incorrect. And then we go back and give her an opportunity to see where she made her errors at and rectify those mistakes. So we call it an assessment. And we give it a letter grade or a number grade, but it's just so that I can keep a gauge of her process, like where she is or where she's at, what things we need to go back and recover and get a little solid on. And of course, she has what's known as attention deficit disorder. And we're in the process of getting some neurological development testing to see if she's a right brain learner or a left brain learner, because she does a lot of things that doesn't seem quite normal for a third, fourth grader. And I say third, fourth grader for her because we do part fourth grade curriculum and part fourth grade, part third grade curriculum, and then we do part fourth grade curriculum. And I'm seeing a lot of things that by this time for a kid her age should not be happening. So we are in a process of seeing a neuro developmental doctor. Honey, when I tell you it's expensive, it is expensive. We are setting up a payments plan. One of the things as an African American family or as a Black family or particularly minority families, they are diagnosed with learning disabilities or areas of weakness or struggle, particularly about 3 to 5 years behind our counterparts, which is typically Caucasian individuals. So it's a big gap. And you might not think 2 to 3 years of developmental delays or struggle is a big deal, but it's actually a huge deal for our children. And so if you are able to advocate for your child and get these tests done, it's really good. And one of the things in the Black community and minority communities, we tend to think, oh, just work harder, or you just need a spanking. And sometimes kids are really doing their best. And spanking and working hard it's not a part of the problem, because I see my daughter work hard. I see her struggling, and I know that the information is in there. It just goes in and it's running around trying to make its way out of her brain. So and she'll tell me, Mom, I know it, but sometimes I forget. And that's for her. And my oldest daughter, she has a lot of brain fog, and that's due to her dysautonomia. And what I do like to tell my children, and I like to tell you as well, don't be afraid of a label per se, because when you think about it, we always have labels: tall, short, skinny, fat, Christian, non-Christian, long hair, short hair. So I'm not really afraid of a term. But what I would like to say is, I tell my daughters, you may have this disorder or this disease, but the disease don't have you. And as a parent, my goal or our goal is to fight for our children so that they are able to be successful. And I am a firm believer, no matter what is laid on your plate, that I know that it works together for the good of them who love the Lord, who are called according to his will and purpose. So it is my belief that although my children have this disorders or ADHD or dysautonomia, I kind of see it as a blessing. That might sound really weird, but I believe that God has given them or allowed this to come upon them for whatever reason, so that they can use it in their life. And I don't know how they're going to use it or where it's going to show up to make them better, or what room they're going to walk in and bring the light with them from this disorder. But I know that it's going to work in their favor, and it's going to work to their advantage in every area of their life. And so for that, I'm very grateful. And I teach them to be grateful and not to look at it as a disadvantage. In fact, I think it's an advantage, because where many people don't have to struggle in certain areas, they take those things for granted. And we don't think about that sometimes. When you don't have to work as hard, or you don't have these different things that you struggle with, you tend to think, oh, you just wake up and you think it's this is it. This is what it's like for everybody, when it's not. And when you have these challenges, you tend to be a little bit more empathetic, sympathetic, and you're aware that God gives you this certain inner spirit that allows you to see people not just in the physical, but you get to see spiritually. You don't just assume when you're talking to people, or you tend to think beyond what it is that's happening in the moment. You give leeway or grace, knowing that sometimes there are some things behind the particular moment or situation that are working, and then you don't take it as personal. You understand that there's something greater behind the scenes working. It's what I teach my girls. So and then we'll go over, you'll see how we do our assessments together, and see what it is that we do when we're doing our assessments. And she get an assessment every 10 lessons. So every 10 lessons that she master, or we go through, we do an assessment in order to keep up with where she is and engage her, as well as for Gabby. And even today, Gabby is not doing a new lesson. What I did with Gabby is I graded all her lessons that she had done, because just like teachers get the piled up and get behind on checking papers or assessing the papers, that's what I did today. I graded about 6 of Gabby's math papers, so she won't be doing any new math lessons today. What she'll be doing is going back and rectifying her mistakes, because the object is, so you want to make sure your kids are mastering. You can get through 16 lessons if you want, but if they're not mastering, you're not doing any good. So the object for me, homeschooling, is to make sure my kids are mastering each of the subjects in which they're learning. So that's what Gabby's doing today. She is going back and making those corrections on those areas of things where she made mistakes in learning. Hey, pay attention, because some of them simple mistakes. And to me, I teach them, it's life lessons too. Although it's math today, when you grow older, it's going to be on the job experience, or when you're owning your own company, learning from your mistakes, learning not to rush, learning to be detail oriented so that you don't have to make simple mistakes. Like I said, you guys, it is a work in progress, because Monday I shedded tears, Hannah shedded tears. We had a wonderful weekend. We went to a HBCU, which is a historically Black university, Prairie View A&M Homecoming, which is a blast if you ever get an opportunity to go out and experience the HBCU homecoming. I suggest you do it. It's an amazing experience. So Sammy has completed her assessment, and if you're wondering what curriculum we use for math, we use what's called Saxon. So right now, I'm just gonna be talking to her. So the first question was, there are 37 children on the bus. 10 children got off at the first bus stop. How many children are left? She did 37 minus 10, which is 27, that's correct. What will be the date 2 months from today? Today is October the 23rd, so that is correct. It will be December the 23rd, Wednesday. Draw 11 quarters. Write the value of coins in 2 ways. So 11 quarters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. $1, $2, $2.75. And she wrote $2.75, and the other way
$200.
And no, not 200. It's $2, 2.75. And the other way to write that is just 275 with a cent sign, 275 cents. And then the other way, of course, is you write your $2 with the period and 75 cents. Okay, it says label each piece with a fraction number sentence. So she have 1/2 here. So I'll show you, this is incorrect, Sam. And I'm going to, this one, I'll show them what it is. I'm going to show you. So I'm not sure if you can.
They can't see it, it's too light.